The first module of signatures prescribed for third semester UG Common Course under Calicut University is titled Autobiographical Writings and Memoirs. Today, we will look at the third chapter in this module, I Stand With You Against the Disorder by Jeanette Armstrong. Jeanette Christine Armstrong was born in 1948 in the Okanagan Reserve in British Columbia. She is a novelist, Indigenous civil rights activist, sculptor, and educationist. She is the first Native woman novelist from Canada. She spoke for Aboriginals, their native culture, and history. Her life has been an endless campaign wherein she strived to alter the deep-rooted prejudices and wrong notions associated with Aboriginal people. The main objective in writing was to educate young people about native culture and history. Her novel, Slash, published in 1985, is regarded as the first novel by a First Nations woman. Breath Tracks is an anthology of poems published in 1991, and her second novel, Whispering in Shadows, was published in 2000. She talks about the cultural significance of Okanagan in her works, and her writings contributes directly to the empowerment of the Okanagan community and other indigenous communities and provides them with a positive outlook. Even in her literary works, novels, poems, etc., she tries to relate to the life of her student community and fellow beings of the Okanagan. And she also discusses the self-sufficient economy as well as the life of indigenous people which she had witnessed in her life. Now, let us look at the Okanagan community. The Okanagan people, also spelled Okanagan, are a First Nations and Native American people whose traditional territory spans the Canada-US boundary in Washington state and British Columbia in the Okanagan Country region. The Okanagan Valley is home to the Shills, commonly known as the Okanagan people. The Okanagan people employed an adaptive strategy, moving within traditional areas throughout the year to fish, hunt, or collect food. While in the winter months, they lived in semi-permanent villages of kekules, which are a type of pit houses. I Stand With You Against the Disorder is an article which was posted in Yes magazine on November 8, 2005. It is adapted from Paradigm Wars, Indigenous Peoples' Resistance to Economic Globalization, which was edited by Jerry Manter and Victoria Tolley Coppers. It talks about the destructive effects of global economy and also about the exploitation of resources. And in a way, our Armstrong is trying to declare about the loyalty or her own loyalty to the Okanagan community and the way in which they are compelled to become cheap labor force and the way in which they face the threat of dispossession by becoming victims of privatization of land and thoughtless exploitation of resources. And the westernization of undeveloped cultures is only a cunning pretext to generate new market. So through this article, she is trying to revitalize the indigenous methods of knowledge documentation and storytelling. And it also looks at the life of the Okanagan community, which she already had experienced during her childhood.